So this video game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, good game, right? Over 80 characters, 100 stages to select from, thousands upon thousands of songs to play, and a semi-functional online game. Yep, one thing I often don't see talked about in the game is the spirits. Yeah, they're mostly PNGs that fill up over 10 hours of a potential story mode, but honestly it's inside that counts. Some of these spirit battles are actually pretty challenging, especially if you don't use any of the broken spirit combinations. Now I'm going to rank the hardest category of the spirits in the game, that being the 4-star legendary spirits. In total there are 73 battles fights, including the ones introduced in character DLC and free updates. The harder the battle, the higher it is on the list. So I'm going to rank these in 4 different scenarios. 1. What is the battle in question? 2. What are elements of the battle that make it hard? 3. What strategies can easily defeat this battle? And 4. How hard is it to do with every character? With this in mind, I am not a professional at the game, so I'm by all means not perfectly facing these spirits. And heck, the easy ones I find might be hard for you guys. So I'm judging these off the general qualities instead of attempts I get. Because I feel like some battles would be easier or harder depending on your attempts. I should also mention that there is no skill tree from story mode used, and I have no spirits equipped, so it's the hardest it can be. With all that being said, here's the ranking of all the Legend 4-star spirit battles in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Definitely gotta find a shorter title. 73. Sukapon. You're fighting a Mii Gunner in a bear suit on the stage Coliseum. The Gunner has increased power for a short time, and a Sukapon assist trophy spawns in the beginning. Sukapon is definitely the hardest aspect of the fight due to it being fairly strong, KOing you in just a few hits. This battle is at the bottom list due just needing to hunt the side of the stage and then use a back throw. Any character that can do it is practice. Don't get me wrong, you can still lose easily in a few hits, but again, it's just one back throw that you need. 72. Ness's father. You have against a snake and a Ness on the stage on it. The snake is invisible. Snake is invisible, and that's hard to see. But again, this is a walk-up stage, meaning just 2, or technically 1 is all you need, because you only need to kill a snake. The cards might give you a bit of an issue, but other than that, it's slightly harder than Sukapon. 71. Gigamac. You're facing a giant Little Mac on the boxing ring stage. This is a stamina battle, so knockback is reduced, and he also has super armor. This fight is difficult due to Little Mac hitting like a truck and almost one-shotting you at full HP. But again, this is a walk-up stage. You just need to get a little closer and risk getting killed quicker, but still any character can do this with enough patience. 70. Liquid Snake. This fight is against a solid snake on the stage Shadow Moses Island. The arena is covered in a toxic cloud, so you take damage over time, and the snake has increased attack power after a little while. This is hard due to the damage stacking quickly, along with Snake having high power, meaning that you could just lose if you're not prepared. This is a walk-up stage. Just hit the sidewall until it breaks, then fish for a back throw or any move that will do knockback to it. The stage will generate after a while, that's why it's higher than the last 3. 69. Dr. Eggman. This battle runs a Roy Koopa and a Metal Sonic. Not Metal Sonic, but a Metal Sonic. On the stage, Green Hill Zone. The stage is suddenly rained bombs, and shooting weapons have increased power which gets pulled towards them. It's tough because it's a 2v1 with bombs raining from the sky that can come out of nowhere, honestly, but it's still a walk-off stage. The Metal Sonic can also be hard to launch efficiently, but the bombs can do damage to them too. 68. Paula. You're up against a villager and a Ness on the stage on it. Ness will have a strong final smash at the beginning of the match, its stamina, and Ness' attack are brutally strong. This back throw kill might take a little bit more effort because you have to dodge a final smash first. If you play an easy bullet hell game, this should be no problem. 67. Jeff. You're up against 3 Inklings on the stage on it. Jeff the assist trophy will show up multiple times throughout the match and light you up pretty quickly with his ball of rockets. And they spawn in with ray guns and his super scope. Jeff can be very annoying with his rockets, and the Inklings can all spawn rather quickly. It can be pretty overwhelming. I noticed through testing, Jeff has a hard time hitting past the yellow house, so back throw around there 3 times and you should be golden. 66. Victini. You're up against an Incineroar on Prism Tower Battlefield variant. He starts with a Pokeball that always contains Victini, which will always give him his Final Smash, and you are using the launch. If you get hit by his Final Smash at any point, even at 0%, you will die. However, battling it out, the Final Smash isn't the hardest thing to do. Either hold onto the ledge until he does something stupid, or just edge guard him. Incineroar has a really exploited recovery, so most characters can get him down. 65. Manaphy. You're up against a Squirtle on Kalos Pokemon League. You have both decreased attack and speed, and this is hard due to Squirtle being a fast combo heavy character. While you're extremely slow, you can't really do that much. However, this battle is also transformed into the Flood Chamber, so it's a walk-off. So wait until it transports, hug the wall, and back throw. don't stand near close to the center due to Manaphy spawning and spawning the stage of a vortex. 64. Deoxys normal form. You're up against a Mewtwo on the stage Mario Galaxy Battlefield. He starts with a Pokeball that always contains Deoxys and his attack power is increased. But aside from that, he often spawns Deoxys right at the beginnings where he's standing, so it's pretty easy to avoid. But after that, you're fighting at standard level 9 against a Mewtwo with higher power. It's really nothing too challenging. 63. Zacian and Zamazenta. You're facing a big fox and a big wolf on Omega Spear Pillar, and the fox has a powerful killing edge sword. The fight doesn't tell you that wolf likes to use reflectors and shield often, so if you manage to get the fox out of the way, the wolf is pretty easy to take down, though he can still attack, so be careful about that. Alternatively, wolf has a bad recovery, so taking him out first will make it easier to deal with fox. It's overall not that bad. 62. Malus. You have to fight a Richter and 3 big Ridleys on the stage Gower Plains. Defeat the Richter to win. It takes a while for him to spawn, but you can also take out the 3 Ridleys if you want to. This is definitely a pretty difficult walk-off one because, you know, long range with Richter and Ridley being massive is definitely hard to deal with, but again, it's just 4 back throws at most. If you wait long enough, Metalface will even make an appearance, so watch out for that. 61. Shine Sprite. Defeat a Rosalina on the stage Delfino Plaza on the rooftop section. She can randomly get her final smash and is temporarily invincible at the start of the match. The beginning part is definitely the hardest, so try to bait out the final set, even though it can be quite difficult when she's invincible. Plus, 3 colored Kirby's can spawn in from resistance, and they don't need to be killed, but they can get in the way. In the end, it's still a walk-up stage, which takes the most amount of effort to do. Invincibility stars also show up, so you can use that to your advantage, but it's hard to nab some at some points. 60. Peace Howard. You have to fight a big Mii brawler on the 4-side Final Destination variant. The enemy's throws have increased power, it's a stamina battle, and all fighters have reduced jumps. Brawler can easily knock you out in just a few hits. Edgeguarding here is the way to go, and the Mii brawler has a pretty weak recovery. Plus the AI is very predictable, only going for specials and grabs. Definitely very predictable, but still tough. 59. Akuma. You have to fight a Ryu on Omega Susaku Castle. Ryu has increased special power, it's a stamina battle, and the jump height is decreased. This is one of 3 battles on Ryu on FD, and this one's definitely the easiest in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, he still hits like a high-powered tank, but get a good character with a good recovery and edge guard until he's defeated. Plus the AI can get rather strange at times. 58. M. Bison. You have to fight a big Gandorf on Omega Great Plateau Tower. He can reflect projectiles, it's a stamina match, and he has increased power on his specials. I feel like this one's easy in concept, and it would be easy in execution if you just need to edge guard him, but the AI isn't so damn defensive offstage, or the game didn't literally give him magnet hand at times. But going on an edge guard and you should be fine. I don't recommend camping with projectiles, he can reflect them. 57. Fierce Deity Link. You have to face a giant Link on Great Bay Omega. You're both easy to launch and have low defense, as well as Link having increased attack power. So it's entirely possible to die to a single up smash. Once again, edge guarding is the key here, and with Link's recovery being definitely bad, so try to throw him off stage and get him for the win. 56. Calamity Ganon. You have to face a giant Ganondorf from Omega Great Plateau Tower. You'll take sun damage after a little while, and you'll have a Zelda CPU to protect. It's very similar to the Fierce Deity Link fight, so it could be swapped around. Ganon is pretty easy so he can one-shot you if you're not prepared, and sun damage can add over time. Again, stay patient and edge guard safely to secure the win. Though then again, dumb magnet hands can happen. 55. Viridi. You have to fight against a Mii sword fighter on a giant Kirby on the stage Reset Bomb Forest. The enemies have increased special power and you're under a 55-second time limit. You only have to defeat the Mii sword fighter for instance, and the Kirby likes to only use down B. The sword fighter has a pretty bad recovery, so take advantage of that and go for the kill. The hardest fight is not losing track of time. 54. Madama Butterfly. You're up against a big Bayonetta on the stage Umbra Clock Tower. There is Poison Fog that drains your HP. It's a stamina battle, and you have enemy likes to use smash attacks. Aside from some really cheesy strats that you can do in practice, it's very straightforward. Edgeguard and Bayonetta may seem intimidating, but after a while you'll get pretty predictable, so make sure you take her out before you die of exhaustion. 53. Heihachi Mishima. You have to fight a Mii brawler on the stage of Mishima Dojo. It's a stamina battle and the enemy will get his final smash at low HP. Similar to the Liquid Snake fight, you have to break down the walls to edgeguard them. Similar to the Geese fight, Mii brawler isn't too hard to edgeguard, though he has a much more competent AI and likes to combo you, so be careful for that. 52. Captain K. Rool. You have to fight a King K. Rool on the stage Halberd. It's a stamina battle, his neutral special has increased power, and K. Rool goes invisible after a little while. While his AI is questionable at times, the stage starts as a walk-off, so he's still pretty tough, having 180 HP and can take down reasonably, so be patient, as always. His recovery is great, but exploitable. 51. Queen Metroid. You have to face a King K. Rool on the Battlefield Brinstar stage. It's a stamina battle, he gets an attack boost after a little while and becomes giant after a little while. Very similar to the last one, though more volatile. Edge guarding is still possible in this instance, and the platform gets you some easy damage here and there. 50. Max Brass. You have to engage King K. Rool in the Brinstar Death FD. It's a stamina battle, and at high damage he gets an attack boost and becomes giant. If you haven't noticed, the last two were extremely similar and can all be dealt with similarly. This one is hard because they're definitely the best AI out of the two. 49. Dragoon. You have to face a Kirby on the Pilot Wing stage. He has increased move speed, and Dragoon particularly spawns to gravitate towards Kirby. This one makes Kirby actually canonical to his powerful self, faster movement, and hits hard. When he hits you with his powerful Dragoon, you're dead. And when you use the Dragoon on him, it basically does nothing. But Kirby is still Kirby. Try your best to overpower him. 48. Link from The Legend of Zelda. You have to face a young Link on the Find Me stage. He has a fast Final Smash meter charger, and his physical attacks on top of having increased attack power. He's a heavy hitter and extremely fast and can be. Bigger stores and projectiles on the play here, but his recovery is so good it's hard to get. But 9 times out of 10 you'll get your Final Smash first, so that can be helpful. 47. Baphomet Zero. You have to face a giant Ridley on the Battlefield Midgar stage. He also gets a Final Smash at higher percentages. This fight could easily be lost with a few hits, and literally can hit hard. But he's quite big, so comboing him is definitely the key here. Stand on the platform to get some clean damage in. And although his recovery is pretty decent, if you take his jumps it gets significantly worse. Definitely hard. 46. Dark Shadow. You have to face a big Ganondorf and Captain Falcon on the Battlefield Port Town Arrow Dive. You also take stun damage after a little bit. A 2v1 without a walk-off is pretty difficult, and however these two characters have weak recoveries, though they can retaliate sometimes. After you take one out, the others should not be that hard. Compared to the other 2v1s, the AI is pretty better. 45. Alucard. You have to go against a Simon and Dracula's castle, and an Alucard assist trophy spawns in at the very beginning. The real struggle here is Alucard in general. He can be very annoying. You can game Simon, but his tether is so quick and janky, it's kind of hard to nail a hit on him. It's not the hardest, especially if your casual knowledge kicks in on the way these to defeat assist trophies, so still watch out for that. 44. Guile. You have to face a Captain Falcon on Omega Pilot Wings. A Guile assist trophy spawns in the middle, it's a stamina match, and all fighters have reduced jump height. Guile isn't the best assist trophy, but damn if he isn't obnoxious. He will Sonic Boom you from far away from him and Flash Kick if you get too close. You can defeat him, but then the Falcon can get in the way too. Just try to edge guard the Captain Falcon, and careful for his up-spells, because if he grabs you, he might make it back to stage. 43. Ninten. You have to face 4 Nesses on Magican. It's a stamina battle, and their PSI attacks are stronger, and they have fast Final Smash meter. This may be scary on paper, and yeah, it is, but that bottom platform is hard for the AI to get to. Get a character with a long up smash and a safe up air and you're golden. If they try to attack you with the bomb, then time to up smash carefully and nail them back to the top. You can still do this with Rosalina or Villager to destroy their recovery, but that takes a little bit more effort. It's easier if you play defensively. 42. Mew. You're up against a small Mewtwo on Congo Jungle. The enemy can turn invisible after a little while and the stage is covered in fog. It has a minute 30 timer. This one can be very annoying and hard. Mewtwo can just run away and use its defensive option isn't even much better. It can be easy to lose track of time and SD unintentionally. Mewtwo is light, so getting a heavy hitter is pretty good here. This fight is extremely similar to 41. Celebi. You have to fight a small Mewtwo on the Battlefield Garden of Hope stage. The stage is covered in fog, and you constantly take minor damage, and the Mewtwo caressively heals as the battle continues. This feels very familiar, except the timer is physical pain instead of stalling. The healing doesn't help either, so still try to hit hard and try not to lose where you are on the map. 40. James McCloud. You have to fight a Vox on Venom. Its attack, defense, and speed increase at high percentages. Fun fact, this battle does not tell you that he also gets a fast Final Smash meter. Very cool game. The stage also is weirdly shaped, so camping in there will ineffective and hard. Edgeguarding the Fox is not really the hardest thing in the world, but it can be done with careful planning. Or maybe to see if you could just give up at some points. 39. Wario Man. You fight a Wario in WarioWare. He gets his Final Smash at the beginning and has a fast Final Smash meter afterwards. One of the few battles with this early Final Smash gimmick here. Just hang on the ledge until he pops his attack and then roll out of the dodge. If he doesn't try to attack you, then repeatedly head to the other side of the stage again. After that, it's just a 1v1 where he gets a Wario with items and a small blast zone. So call it your own. 38. Sophis. You have to face a Violet on the Omega Sphere Pillar stage. She gets a sudden Final Smash every now and again, and she regenerates health at higher percentages. This is actually the spirit that wanted me to make this list. It's definitely a good start to know how brutal these spirits are. Anyways, what separates this one from the last one is that she gets multiple Final Smashes that spawn in. Same strategy as always, but Baz has an odd recovery to give, and especially dangerous, so don't forget to go aggro in some scenarios. 37. Fury Bowser. You have to face a giant metal Bowser on Omega Find Me. He will also have Curry Breath and a Final Smash, and combined with the sheer size and weight, comboing this guy can be pretty easy, especially if you have a quick up tilt. And not only getting Spicy Caramel, but a Final Smash or boot is definitely hard. A variant with the ledge stall can have to be used this one. Play this one super carefully. 36. Azora. You have to fight a Corrin on the Fountain of Dream stage. She gets a Final Smash at the beginning, and she gets it back immediately. And he also has increased attack power. This is super scary due to basically having a 2 instant KO attacks back to back. On top of increased attack power, the ledge drag doesn't work because Corrin will literally jump scare you with an F smash. But avoid those 2 attacks and the test get for mid recovery for the dub. 35. Evil Ryu. You have to face a Ryu on Omega Suzaku Castle. It's a stamina battle, he'll increase attack power, and he gets his Final Smash like every 30 seconds. Granted, they aren't too powered up, but it's still lame because basically camping is the best strat. And Ryu is super stupid about using his Final Smash. Ryu is still Ryu, so if you get him off stage, then you should be toast. But getting to that point might be hard on its own. 34. Omega Ridley. You have to face a giant metal Ridley on No Fair. He also has Curry Breath for the entire fight, and it's a stamina match. Honestly, I find this one tough, but also extremely cheesable. If it really falls into level bow, he'll take a lot of damage, and it could also lead to an easy victory. Or if you get Mario or Zero Suit Samus up special and carry him off the top. Because this match is so polarizing in both difficulty and easiness, I put it in the middle of the list. 33. Claws. You have to fight a Lucas and then a Metal Lucas after the first one on top of the Battlefield Garl Hope stage. Melee weapons also get a boost after a short time. The first Lucas can be rather cumbersome, especially with his recovery being shockingly good. The second Metal Lucas is harder to gimp and starts with a strong bead sword. Characters like Villager, Lucas, and Rosalina can handle this match with ease, but others might definitely struggle, but it's still possible. 32. Roxas. You have to fight a Sora on the second half of Balo Bastion. He starts with a killing edge and has an attack and speed boost for a short while. He also gets a health recovery at low HP, and it's a stamina match. Sora also has a great recovery. Unless you risk it all with your edge guard, you're probably gonna have to do this legitimately. I found that he has a hard time dealing with the platform when you're underneath it, so hang around there, but this one's definitely tricky. 31. Ender Dragon. You have to face a giant Ridley on the Find Me stage, accompanied by 2 Steve Enderman. You also gotta defeat the Ridley to win. It's a stamina match, and the enemy recovers health at low HP. The Endermen don't have much HP and typically like to attack you. As for the big boy, try to hang on the side of the stage and try to gimp him. It can be hard due to the limited space and the sheer size of him, but the Endermen don't really have good projectiles and don't really get in the way. It's still pretty tough, but manageable. 30. Mecha Fiora. You have to fight a Corrin and a Shulk on Reset Bomb Forest. A Ricky Assist trophy spawns in the beginning and causes some chaos. This feels easy, but it can be really hard. A 2v1 is never fun, especially with Ricky being so unpredictable most of the time, either harming you with status or buffing your attack or everyone's attack. The stage also has small blasts and so the recoveries aren't the best. This fight is also very similar to 29. Mithra. Hey, wait a minute, that ain't Mithra. Get out of here, you silly imposter. You have to fight a Corrin and a Shulk on Battlefield Gower Plains. Corrin also has a powerful beam sword and a strong final smash. This is extremely similar to the previous match, except with different stages and no assist trophy, instead of a flatter stage and a powerful beam sword. Honestly, the two are very similar, and I could put one in front of the other, or vice versa. Really depends on preference. 28. Funema. You have to fight a Pyro/Mithra and a Shulk on the Cloud of Alrest stage. It's a stamina battle, the enemy has a Sun Final Smash, they move faster, and the enemy can turn metal when their damage is close. This sounds imposing, and it is. The sudden Final Smash on top of the stamina battle sounds really hard to do, naturally, but the agent recovery is so pitifully sad it's kind of funny. They're still brutal, but not on stage. And also, Shulk doesn't get his Sound Smash or Metal, so he's much easier to deal with. 27. Trevor C. Belmont. You have to fight a Simon, a Palutena, and a Sheik on Dracula's castle. Also, an Alucard assist trophy spawns in later in the fight. This battle can get kinda crazy if you don't limit the playing field. It will literally turn into a 4v1 if played too cautiously. I found that Sheik mostly uses needles, and Simon has a pretty bad recovery. And so it's still hard, but definitely manageable. I found going near the bottom of the staircase helps due to the weird slope and they don't really know how to hit you. So, abuse that when necessary. 26. Dark Matter. You have to face a King Deity and a powered up Meta Knight on the Omega Halberd stage. The Meta Knight can nail a powerful critical hit at random, melee weapons have increased power, it's a stamina battle, and the Nightmare Assist trophy spawns in frequently. This fight is incredibly obnoxious. The Deity may not seem that bad, but when he attacks you, your health goes down fast. The Meta Knight is even worse, because his recovery is so good, edge guarding is barely an option. Plus the random crits in this Nightmare Assist trophy turning the stage completely dark doesn't help. This one's really dumb, but there's some really hard ones later on that make this one look easy. 25. Pauline. You have to face a Peach, Mario, and Giant Donkey Kong in the stage 75M. You have to defeat Peach to win. Mario starts with a hammer and has an extra mid-air jump. You have lower jump height, and there's a minute 30 timer. A very infamous fight in World of Light, and it's rather hard to rank. On the hard side, Peach may be a master at retreating, and Mario and DK can kill you pretty easily. The end gets on to make it more crazy, but there is a walk-off killing Mario and DK rather fairly easily, so that wouldn't be that bad. Diamonds can also spawn to make Peach easier to chase, so both positives and negatives, but you need a lot of luck to get this consistent at it. 24. Taboo. You have to face a giant metal Bayonetta on the final destination stage. It's a stamina battle, and you occasionally take sudden damage. Another brutal fight. Her AI is super confusing too. Sometimes she can't hit a rolling target, and other times she can just kill you in a few hits. So much damage makes this even more stressful than it already is, because now you have to fight on a soft time limit. Giving her is possible, so you might have to get a little creative. 23. The Boss. You have to fight a Zero-2 Samus on Omega Garanda Hook stage. It's a stamina battle, gets high defense when she has low AP, and the whole floor is poisonous. Standing around here is definitely the wrong choice here. You lose health incredibly fast. Thankfully, she's ballsy and challenges you off stage frequently, and while her horizontal recovery is immaculate, her vertical recovery leaves a lot to be desired. Try to find a way to challenge her aerials safely, and you secure a victory. 22. Windfish. You face a giant Jigglypuff on the Battlefield Hyrule Temple stage. The floor is sleep-inducing, and you constantly take minor damage. Take the previous light and ramp it up to 100. Jigglypuff is impossible to edge guard, especially when you're giant, and combined with the flower effect, this one is really tough. Jigglypuff is really light though, so a heavy hitter can send her flying out with consistent damage. Also, constantly jumping from the sleep-inducing floor is definitely a way to counteract that. 21. Ho-Oh. You're up against a giant Charizard on Kalos Pokemon League. The Charizard creates Curry and is resistant to fire and explosion attack. The upbeat cheese strat with Mario and ZSS doesn't really work here for some reason, so you have to defeat this guy in the old-fashioned way. Too bad it's pretty easy to kill you in a few solid hits. Thankfully, Absorb and Counter and Curry helps a lot, and the stage transforms always into the fire room, and that transformation can really help you out in certain scenarios, or harm you, either or. 20. Megaman.exe. You're up against 3 Megamans on Battlefield Cannonball. The floor is electrocuted, and they can spawn with a Bob-omb and a Beam Sword. Every time you touch the floor, you can either get A, stun locked repeatedly, or B, get nailed by the strong moves by Mega Man. The top platforms are safe, but this still makes it a pretty limited and hard fight. It's a constant 1v1v1, so good luck with it. 19. Hinanawa. You have to fight a Zelda and 2 Lucases on Yoshi's Island stage. All fighters are easier to launch. Another really hard one to link, but some moves like Falcon's Rapid Jet can kill at the ledge always, but I still find avoiding these 3 characters is a tall order, especially if a single up smash can knock you out in one hit. Play this one super cautiously and find a character that can kill super easily. Defensive play is definitely the best strat here. 18. Crystal. You have to fight a Fox and a Falco on Corneria, and a Crystal Assist trophy can spawn in. Honestly, Crystal is the hardest thing here in this fight, capable of killing you in 1 or 2 hits. The stage is also really hard to retreat to. The laser cannon is a good option, but Crystal can warp there sometimes. The laser can shoot and even eventually break. I found that using characters with long reach can KO Crystal from the bottom of the laser, and dealing with Fox and Falco after that should not be too hard. Also, Falco is really stupid here, so abuse that. 17. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. You have to face 3 Lucases on Battlefield Find Me stage. One starts with a Pokeball that always contains a Moltres, and their PSI attacks are stronger, they reflect projectiles, and it's a stamina match. For characters that can handle the recoveries, they have it easy, and typically only use their specials. But since they can reflect projectiles, camping isn't an option here. You kinda have to go pretty aggro with their attacking them. They have lower HP, so killing them shouldn't be that hard. But man, it can be really hard avoiding this literal bullet hell. 16. Squid Sisters. You have to fight 4 Inklings in the Moray Tower stage. You are easy to launch, and the Squid Sister Assist Trophy can spawn and drink the screen. Like, this is the first match where I'm 100% certain this is a luck-based one. Sometimes the Inklings can only use special moves and you can easily avoid them all, or they all gang up on you and you basically have no chance to escape. The best strat I found is to get a character with a good multi-hit and drag them off to the side of the screen. The Squid Sisters can also respawn, so defensive isn't always the best option here. 15. Akira. You have to fight a Ryu on Omega Coliseum. The enemies have increased power on regular physical attacks and smash attacks. There's high gravity, it's a stamina battle, and the Akira Assist Trophy spawns in. I hate this spirit battle so much. Akira is the only assist trophy that can actually block most attacks, and Hiryu hits like a truck. Going off stage is almost a death sentence due to the high gravity being here. So try to get him off stage, and after that he's mostly toast. But it's hard to get to that point. 14. Supersonic. You're up against a Gold Sonic on Windy Hill Zone. He has increased move speed and he gets his Final Smash at the beginning. Yeah, although his Final Smash is really bad and doesn't kill you most of the time, occasionally, damage is still damage and still stacks. Though it rarely matters considering he can kill you in one hit. He is faster and the stage is technically a walk-off, so you can cheese him, but it's kind of hard to use reliably with the constant moving windmill thing. Honestly, the Springs of Bomb will win you the match more often than not. 13. Gruntilda. You have to face a giant King Dedede and 3 Dr. Marios on the Omega Find Me stage. The floor is poisonous, it's a stamina battle, Dedede starts with a Star Rod, and you have to defeat Dedede to win. This is just the boss spirit, but harder in every single way. Dedede has a better recovery, the Zox can use Pill and get in the way a lot of the time, and the floor can tell you to just stand around. Similar, but very hard to deal with. 12. Arceus. You have to fight a Corn on Spear Pillar stage. He starts with a Pokeball that always contains Arceus, you are easy to launch, and high winds occasionally show up. Honestly, it's so high just because of the strong wind. It's super unfun and neuters most characters. Thankfully, it doesn't show up for the entire match and despawns, but hopefully this doesn't show up again, right? Arceus can also instantly kill you if you're airborne, even if it's for a single frame, and Corn is quite strong too. Trust me, this isn't the hardest spirit, but it definitely can feel like that. 11. Ashley. You have to fight a small Ridley, then a mini Swordfire on WarioWare. And Ashley is his trophy can spawn at the beginning, magic attacks are very effective on them, and controls can reverse several times throughout the match. Honestly, this wouldn't be that bad at most points. The Ashley assist trophy can be easily avoided, and the micro games can give you boost. But sorry for my language here, but fuck this reverse controls bullshit! It ruins the fight, it's not challenging, when you try to recover and the game just says no midway through, there's barely any strategy with this one aside from staying on stage, and it just ruins, this is just not fun. It's not fun. Breaking scripts here, dear god, I couldn't even finish this one. A few of them I couldn't finish, but like, seriously, it's so stupid. I hate the spirit so much. It would only be number 1 if other ones weren't objectively harder. Ugh. Let's just get to the top 10. 10. Donkey Kong and Lady. This battle against a giant Donkey Kong with a stage 75 end. The DK has super armor, is hard to launch, it's a timed match. Though they have a CPU Peach ally, but if she falls, you fail. This is hard because the stage is universally garbage and the DK can hit like a tank. Backdooring is possible, but you have to be either extremely close to the side, which can be possible, but the DK stage hazard will spawn 20 seconds in and almost ruin the strategy. And unlike most of the Super Mario fights like Gigamax, this one feels almost immovable. Yeah, I mess up near the bottom of the stage, but don't rely on that most of the time. 9. Geno. You have to fight a Bowser, Mario, Kirby, Peach, and Sheik with a Super Scope on the Battlefield Mario Galaxy stage. You have to defeat Sheik to win, and Mario starts with the shell as well, and her final attack charges way faster. And there's also a time limit. This fight starts as a 3v1, you know it's going to be hard. They can easily gang up on you in a matter of seconds. They like to edge guard too, so try to spike them as well. Mario and Bowser are definitely the easiest one to take out here, however Kirby and Sheik are definitely crazy here. Hypothetically, you only need to defeat 3 opponents, that's why it isn't much higher than it already is. 8. Phantom Thieves of Hearts. You have to fight a small Pikachu with an Aura Club, a Captain Falcon with a Bat, Zero Suit Samus with a Fire Flower, a Chrom, a Sheik, and a Joker with a Fast Final Smash charge on the Memento stage. And all the Daybreak parts can also show up through the fight. This is a much bigger gauntlet, and it all can severely hurt you. I recommend counter characters due to countering 3 of the 6 characters here with their items. I try to collect all the Daybreak parts. It won't kill them, but damage is damage, and it can definitely help you out. It'll level the playing field. In the end, you'll face Joker in a 1v1, so it isn't the worst fight in the world, so try to be campy and creative. 7. Heroes Comrades. You have to fight a Link, a Zelda, a small Robin, a giant Sheik, a Zero Suit Samus, a King Deity with a staff, and an Ike on the stage Yggdrasil altar. It's a stamina battle. All the weapons have increased power, Smash Crafts have increased power, and Maximum Tomatoes spawn in. Another extremely challenging gauntlet. This is a stamina battle, meaning that you can't rely on high damage carrying you through. The Link AI is simple and predictable and can pack a punch. Zelda can auto-heal when her health is low. Robin likes to use her magic. Sheik will literally needle camp you. Deity can hurt you from across the stage with the staff that he has. ZSS is extremely hard to hit, and when you get to Ike, he can one-shot you if he really so chooses to. Play extremely defensively and grab any tomatoes that spawn. 6. Dr. Wily. You have to face Dr. Mario and 8 Metal Mega Man on the stage Wily's Castle. It's a stamina battle, and you have to defeat all 8 Mega Men in order to face Dr. Mario. Another extremely infamous one, and for good reason. Yes, there are strategies that can handle this fight, and will definitely be more found in the future, but it still doesn't make this brutal. 8 Mega Mans attacking you 2 at a time is hard on its own, and it's even more soul-crushing to lose to Dr. Mario. Absolutely one of the hardest horde battles in the game. 5. Dark Emperor. You have to face a giant Ridley on the stage, Find Me. He has super armor. The reason I put this so high is because most characters can't do a single thing about it. The only thing that seems to do any sort of knockback is some up specials like Ike up special, grabs in some final smashes. He can also cleanly one-shot you, but that's not anything too surprising. Honestly, the best strategy here is throwing him off stage and praying to get hit by his side B, which will always kill Ridley first. If that's the best strategy of winning, that's saying a lot. 4. Dry Bowser. You have to face a Bowser on Battlefield Reset Bomb Forest. The ball is lava, he has Curry Breath, and gets a defense boost after a little while. All the other ones I could see most, if not all characters getting through. The next 4 is impossibly difficult, and I can only see a few characters winning with them. Touch the lava for even a second and you will take damage. The ledge is the safest option here, and even then, Bowser can just hit you. Maybe he goes off stage and if you're in a good position to hit him, but that rarely happens sometimes. 3. Pyra. You have to face a Lucina with a fire bar, and a Shulk with Curry Breath on the Battlefield Halberd stage. And yeah, this is definitely not Pyra, that's Pyra. You know, the one that's currently dead. Yeah, imagine the last match, but a 2v1. We'd have better recoveries. Honestly, how can you even win like this? Landing in the lava like 10 times will kill you. It's just plain unfair. Gimme kills are basically mandatory here. 2. Baby Bowser. You have to face a tiny Bowser and a giant Bowser on Omega Find Me. The floor is lava, it's a stamina battle, and the giant Bowser has super armor. At least with the last 2, knockback is possible. Here it's impossible on the giant Bowser. So if you manage to take out Baby Bowser, chances are you're either too weak to reliably fight back, or you're dead in one more hit because it's stamina. This might be one of the hardest fights in the entire series. So you might be wondering, how on earth is this number 2? Well... Number 1, Kadia. You have to fight a Lucina and a Marth on Battlefield Hyrule Temple. The Lucina has 2 double jumps, has increased move speed, but reduced weight, and there's high wind effect. Here's the thing. This is as close to an impossible battle as you can get. Only a few characters can legitimately fight the win, and if you're touched once to the right, it's over. All I can say for strategy is try to experiment with characters and pray they knock you to the left. At least with the Arceus fight, the strong winds disappear after a little while, and at least with many horror battles you can stand, and at least with the lava floor matches they can take a while. This will be over in a matter of seconds! You need extreme luck or a lot of gimmicks on your side, because frankly, I don't know how this is possible with anyone else. Well, that was a massive list. If you think a spirit should be higher or lower, please educate me in the comment section below. I would love to know any strategies that you can come up with. And if you want to see me cover more spirits, get me to a higher sub count. Then I'll consider doing this again.